Welcome. Let's talk about The Regime. It's the new series. It's on HBO slash Max, depending on how you access HBO. And it has audio description. I'm John Stark, Mac the Movie Guy, and I'm a blind film critic, so that part's a little important to me as I'm here to also advance accessibility, but also talk about things like The Regime. So click that subscribe button because I want to be best friends forever, not just for the next. Uh, I think I'm gonna do like a 3 to 4 hour video on this. Way longer than the. No, it's gonna be short. Um, so the regime. I actually got to the first episode the day the second episode aired, and I just rolled two into one. I usually just do pilot reviews, and I actually recorded a pilot review for the regime, but I indicated that tonally, and because it's introducing you to something, and it's walking a weird line between like a cautionary tale slash satire slash straight up comedy slash not comedy. It feels like it's a lot of things. Um, it doesn't want to be defined and put into a box, that's for sure. So after the first episode, I was like, I mean, it's got Kate Winslet, so I'm going to give it 4 episodes anyway. I usually determine how many episodes I give, at least for me personally, if there's somebody in it that interests me, and Kate Winslet would get more episodes out of me, as would Andrea Riseborough. But it's like with Emma Stone. I didn't like The Curse. I sat through 4 episodes hoping it would get better and maybe I would get engaged in it. I just never got engaged by it. Um, but the regime gets better in the second episode. It gets weirder and it gets better. And Martha Plimpton comes in and she's got some excellent moments. And the show really starts to set its tone and the sort of the disconcerting nature of it all. But also, it is dark comedy. It's very many things. This is a very interesting show, and I can't wait to see how people react to it. I'm also, I'm sure it's a limited series, but I would have loved to see where the show wanted to be in terms of landing for the Emmys. If it wasn't a limited show, where would it be competing? Would it be competing in comedy? Because it's not necessarily downright outlandishly funny. Sometimes it's scary because it's about sort of these dictators that just start making broad decisions. It's in an unknown country, although they did shoot in many different places, including Austria. A lot of it is shot in Austria and also in the UK. So you may recognize some of the places if you can see. If you can't see, it's just all described to you as if we were in this world, um, that this country that doesn't exist, um, which is somewhere in Europe and has a trade deal with America, and they're trying to figure out, do they want to have this trade deal with America? How do they reclaim, you know, their country's identity? And Kate Winslet as a leader is just trying to figure out what she wants to do, her next steps, and who she's taking advice from, and who's got her back, and is she gonna have sex with her husband? There's just a little bit more of a factor in the second episode, but yeah. So it has a lot of different things in it. It reminded me initially of the death of Stalin. That was the closest comp that I could come to. It would be like a series version of that mixed with The Great, but I can't even really compare it directly to The Great because it's not. The Great is way more obviously funny and satirical. It's way out, like just right out in front. No questions asked. You know what the show is. The regime plays around with you a little bit in a different way. And perhaps it's because its cast is not really known for comedy. Kate Winslet, Matthias Schoenaerts, um, Andrea Riseborough, Martha Plimpton, not really comedic actors. I know Martha was on Raising Hope for years, but also dramatic, a really dramatic actress. So they're known for certain things, and they've dabbled in comedy, sure, but they're not known for it. And so this is taking a very interesting approach to it. I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued by this show. I don't know that I love it yet, but I'm intrigued by it. I love watching Kate Winslet sort of navigate this character. She's such a phenomenal actress that um, you can see the wheels turning, in her head of where she wants this character to go. Like she knows, which is why I truly believe it's a limited series, is because she knows where she needs to get to from point A to point B, and the evolution of her character is so integral to the success of the show. And like I said, the first episode was okay. I was concerned that people were going to be maybe not following it. I thought the second episode was better, and sometimes that happens. Sometimes the first episode doesn't establish, and that's why at least I do. But the whole reason I usually do pilot reviews and only pilot reviews is because you're never guaranteed the second episode. You're not really guaranteed that someone's going to stay like finish the first episode. Um, but you have to hook people generally with that first episode, and the pilots are a lost art in an age where people are getting these deals where they get to develop the show as a unit without having to develop a pilot first. Um, it's getting more and more common with streamers to do that. Especially if you have talent, if you have the right talent, if you're coming from somebody who's directed by Stephen Frears. Um, so I don't know how the HBO picked up this, but I have a feeling if they saw a package with Kate Winslet starring and Stephen Frears directing, that they probably went, yeah, straight to series, limited series, fine, and they never saw a pilot. So that first episode is really important because people may not come back. I took the time to, after I'd seen the second episode, because I hadn't actually quite dropped. I watched it basically back to back, like 2 days in a row, and I hadn't dropped that review, and I'm basically undoing the one, and now I'm doing two, the first two episodes, because I want to be able to say it gets better. It almost instantaneously gets better. I was far more engaged in the second episode than I was in the first episode. Um, and just all of this stuff with Martha Plimpton, I thought was excellent. I thought she was excellent, and I thought the way that they handled that character really, again, helps to set the tone for the show. So, um, the audio description definitely feels like it's narrating a comedy. It's very light. It's a guy that would not work in a dark show. This guy couldn't have narrated Zone of Interest the way he's narrating this, is what I'm saying. It's just, there's something about the narrator, the voice, the tone, the quality choices, everything, um, that indicates to me that it matches more along the lines of other Max comedies like Our Flag Means Death, which is weird because I it's not that obvious of a comedy. This is not like a rolling in the aisles silly comedy. It's very interesting and it's very thought provoking, and it's created in a day and age when politics is complicated. And I don't just mean that domestically, so don't be like, it's one of those guys. No, I mean like everywhere. Just all the politics of international politics. Um, and to create this show and give it an unnamed country, somebody's trying to say something, and it's this time it's actually not just about America. It's not just about American politics. It's about international politics. So, yeah, that's it. That's what I got. So, check out the regime. I'll give it a merged grade for the first two episodes. So far, I'm gonna give the regime a B plus. I think it's definitely worth checking out. You do have to sit through the first episode to get to the second episode. But if you're not feeling the show after the second episode, you probably won't be feeling it at all. least give it the second episode if you can. If you're at all intrigued by the fact that Kate Winslet is doing another TV show, and this cast beneath her interests you, and Stephen Frears as a director and all that kind of stuff. If that intrigues you, give it at least 2 episodes. The second episode is just better, and Martha Plimpton really brings a lot to the series, not just as an actress herself, but also the character that is introduced allows the series to really have some great moments. So um, I'm excited about the possibilities. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Hopefully, you click that subscribe button. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to keep doing pilot reviews for the most part. I'm not going to do too many second episodes, but anyway, you can follow me on MacMovieGuy.com. I'm at MacMovieGuy on X, Threads, or Instagram. You can go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org. It'll let you know what has audio description and where you can watch it. Wow, 2 things. You can also go to the ADNA.org. That's the ADNA.org, and you can look up your favorite films and television series and see who's working in the audio description for them. That's it for me today. I will watch something else and see you guys on the other side.